What's up, metalheads? It's Chad
and Claire
from CJ's Vinyl, and today we are doing episode 2 of Metal Monday.
It's about time.
Finally. We had, how much time has gone by? It's been like a year.
It's been a while.
Although the first one didn't really do that good anyway, but some time has passed. Maybe this one will get more views. I don't know. But maybe. Our schedule's been crazy, so we've only been able to really fit this in now. But so last time I did 10 albums that were just from our collection of stuff that we had spun on the channel and things that we would be spinning, and that's what we're going to do again today. We're going to have kind of a mix of stuff that we've already done, but we're just kind of presenting it to everyone just to briefly talk about it and how it's been a really good part of our collection. So let's go ahead and start with the first album.
Alright.
Helloween. Alright, so Helloween is a German power metal band from Hamburg, Germany.
Keeper of the Seven Keys, Part 1.
And it's their second studio album. It's that was 1987 that one released. I really like kind of the sound that they have, and also with I think it's Michael Kiske. That, in my opinion, I think the guy sounds a little bit like Bruce Dickinson from Iron Maiden, but that's me.
I agree.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of overlap there, but that style of singing was just awesome, and it's something that I've noticed across like multiple bands. But they were a big influence. Helloween is a very powerful influence in power metal. So great album. Keeper of the Seven Keys.
In Part 2.
And this was their third studio album that they had, Part 2 of Keeper of the Seven Keys, which is also really good. What would be one of the things that you really like from this album?
Let's see.
Keeper of the Seven Keys
Yeah,
is
Keeper
a
of the Seven Keys. I'm a sucker for a really
intense.
just big, epic, long metal songs. And 14 minutes, you can't really argue with that.
Yeah, it's a lot like, and then there was Silence from Blind Guardian. They had their really long song. They kind of, and Helloween has their really long song. Every power metal band from Germany has to have one.
Got to.
So, yeah, this is really good. We'll be spinning quite a bit of this soon on the channel. So we have yet to put this out there, but I love this band. This is a great band.
Fantastic. Alright, next up.
Soar.
Garden's album.
Yes. Soar is a Scottish black metal band. And this is awesome because
it's so cool.
Yeah. Well, and black metal always seems to have really epic artwork on their covers, but
Hills, fjords, snow.
yeah, and this particular album, Guardians, was released in 2016, and we've had this one. We got it when it came out, and it was amazing. The fusion of bagpipes, flutes, and what else? They have a lot of other instrumentation that they add. They have lutes as well, and other things that they play. It's amazing to hear some of their stuff. It's just incredible. But this will be a little bit of a change because we haven't done a lot of black metal on our channel. But I love this album. and I hope you guys will like it too. We'll be doing a few of our favorites from that one as well. It's a great band. That's Soar.
Fantastic.
Yep.
Next up, got some of my favorite Swedes. Europe, of course, the Final Countdown album.
You want to take this one?
Well, it's from 1986. This was their third album, but it's the one that I think everyone really knows that kind of put them on the map, especially here in the States.
Yeah, I was like, does this album even need an introduction? I feel like everyone
knows. This is the 80s, and
yeah,
it's just awesome. The colors, the epic, just glam magic that is Europe.
The Final Countdown seemed to define 80s metal.
Yep.
And that's a really, really great album. We had the pleasure of seeing Europe here in Indianapolis.
Yep. 2015?
2015.
Yeah.
That was a pretty amazing show. That was at the
Vogue.
The Vogue. Yeah.
They're just amazing. Like you can tell they love what they do, or they're fantastic actors. One of the two. But they're just so on fire and just.
Joey Tempest sounds as good as he ever did from the 80s and all the way until now. They still sound great.
Yep. This one has, besides Final Countdown, Rock the Night, Carrie, Cherokee, Time Has Come.
It's a great album. This is one of the essential ones that you need to have if you like glam metal, any kind of classic heavy metal bands that you guys really like. Europe would have to be one of them. It's great Swedish metal, and the Swedes know their metal.
They do indeed. Speaking of Europe, we got the next album that they put out. This is their fourth album, Out of This World.
It's a good one.
This one has Superstitious, More Than Meets the Eye. Yeah. It's fantastic.
Yeah, that's a really good album.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Yep.
Yeah.
Now what would Metal Monday be without a Blind Guardian album?
Well, it wouldn't be our Metal Monday.
Well, I'm trying to also do a little bit less Blind Guardian than I did in the first one. I pretty much the whole episode was pretty much Blind Guardian. So I had to bring in one of the honestly, Nightfall and Middle Earth is one of the most sought after Blind Guardian albums that has ever released, and it only comes in picture disc form. Pull this out a little bit more. There we go. That's perfect. But this was not cheap. For just one single LP, we did end up getting this near mint copy, and it was not easy to find because I just got lucky with this one. But what can you say? Nightfall and Middle Earth. It's Mirror Mirror, Nightfall, and then Blood Tears. There's so much good music on this album. Yeah, and I can't even begin to tell you guys how important it was to us that we got this album, because this is probably one of my favorite albums from Blind Guardian.
Absolutely.
But yeah, that's Nightfall and Middle Earth, an absolute must-have if you can get it. This is one of those really difficult Blind Guardian. I mean, all Blind Guardian has been difficult to get on vinyl. Anyone that knows about Blind Guardian knows that they're rather difficult to find on vinyl, especially their older stuff. Yeah, had to include one Blind Guardian album for this Metal Monday. So one of the best ones. All right.
Moving on
to
Iced Earth.
Yep. To American metal. We don't have a ton of American metal in our collection, but we have a little bit.
When we do, they're Funds of Blind Guardian.
Yes, that's true. That's true. So obviously, Iced Earth is another power metal, an American power metal band, and I mean, Burnt Offerings. You gotta have Burnt Offerings if you're gonna have an Iced Earth album for sure. Obviously, because of Burnt Offerings and Dante's Inferno I love that song.
Speaking of long, epic metal songs.
16 and a half minutes or something of that nature, yeah. It's a long one. Great bunch of music. We just saw Iced Earth here in Indy. When was that? That was
end of February.
End of February?
Yep.
That was pretty good. That was for their that was their Incorruptible tour.
Yeah.
So, and that album was pretty good. But, Burnt Offerings, which was their 1995 album, definitely one of their more popular ones. So, you guys like that? I think the reissue was a double LP.
Yeah.
At least I'm pretty sure. Iced Earth is a really good band, and anyone that knows, Demons and Wizards knows that John Schaefer is the guitarist, while Hansi Kirsch from Blind Guardian is the vocalist. But we will talk about Demons and Wizards in maybe our next Metal Monday segment, because we've obviously already spun a lot of that too, but we have yet to talk about it, so that'll come up later. All right.
Horror show.
While we're on the topic of Iced Earth, may as well start with their next one, which was, not their next album, but next one on our list that we have. Yeah. Horror Show has got to be their best album that they've released, in my opinion.
So good.
Yeah, it's really good. I think probably for me, one of their best tracks was Dracula was one of their really good ones, and. I really like the Frankenstein one was pretty good too, but I love how they have all the major
Jekyll and Hyde, Jack the Ripper, Damien, Transylvania, Frankenstein, Dracula, and Phantom of the Opera.
Some pretty significant
ideas,
horror characters and literature that is combined into one really good album with just absolutely solid execution and just thrilling music. Horror Show is so good. I mean, if you have Iced Earth, you probably have Horror Show, because that's just this has got to be one of their best albums that they've released. This is another double LP, and I think both of these are 180 gram too, which is all the better.
Standing next to me.
Horror Show, you've got to have it. If you liked Iced Earth, you have to have Horror Show.
Yep.
We spun that one a while ago too, didn't we?
Yeah, I feel like before Halloween, maybe?
Of last year, yeah. So, but we put that one out there. We might put another one or two out there.
Alright. Striker.
Alright. While we're on American metal, again.
Yes.
So, as some of you or many of you probably know, Striper is an American Christian metal band, and probably one of the most powerful influences of intense, I don't know, notes that anyone has ever hit. Oh my goodness. I don't know if Michael Sweet can still hit the same notes that he once did. I haven't heard them in quite a while, but I know that they're still making albums today.
Yep.
We can show.
I think they're on tour.
This is their 1984 album and their first one, The Yellow and Black Attack. And this is a yellow marble is what they refer to this LP. This was a really good album too. I'm really glad that we have this because especially being their first album, this one was really good. Whenever I was a kid, I had this one, but I also had In God We Trust on cassette, and then also To Hell with the Devil.
Yep.
Which, speaking of which, we
right over here
have this one. Yeah, and so this was their 1980. This was their third album, right? I think so. This To Hell with the Devil is 1986. And yeah, show them off there.
Yeah, we've got to just admire that for a minute.
I had this on cassette as a kid, but never actually owned the vinyl because I wasn't old enough to handle records back then, but grew up having the cassette until that thing finally wore itself out. I listen to this band all the time. Striper is a great band. They've got a great sound. These guys know how to play.
His range is just ridiculous.
Michael Sweet's range is unlike any other that you've ever heard. I mean, they hit notes that are just crazy. Yep. So I mean,
those pants.
Tight pants, yeah. So, yeah, Striper is definitely a great band. If you guys like, again, this glam metal from the 80s, this heavy metal from the 80s is a really great band to have. Striper is a really good band to have on vinyl. Whether you like Christian metal or not, I mean, it's a great band.
Just straight up good.
Yeah, they sound great, and they'll always be a part of our collection for sure.
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, kind of went through that nice and quick. I think that was good. Yeah, that's our next 10 albums for now that we're going to do. We have a ton more. We've got a lot more Blind Guardian, but I wanted to kind of spread it out a little bit more this time and focus on some other bands too.